So stepping into that realm, you have these motivations behind you that are jumping you these levels, and you have this exposure to these phenomenal athletes. You mind mentioning them?
Yeah, I mean,
These UFC
dude,
guys?
there's so many good guys that I train with. Um, the people that I'm super close with, obviously, Cam Scalio, Eddie Torres. I don't like really train directly with her all the time because she's much smaller than me. But Taylor Samarco, she's been a huge influence in me. Obviously, Pat Sabatini whoops my ass all the time. You know, guys coming in and out. When I was going to Marquez, haven't been there in a little bit, but you're around guys like Sean Brady, Joe Pfeiffer, Andre Petrosky's always around. He's another one that I've sparred with before, and he's a monster. I liked when you said networking and being around all these high level people because it's not necessarily necessary to have extremely high level people around you to get there. But the thing that makes it so much easier to get there when you have these people around you is they are the ones presenting the problems. If you have people that you're competing against every day that you can just smash, you have no idea what areas you're deficient in because nobody's bringing you to those areas. And even when you're in those areas, those people don't have the answers to those situations that will show you that you don't have the answers to the situations. So when I'm training with somebody like Pat Sabatini, I have a million red flags going off when rolling in jiu-jitsu and when we're sprawling that, oh, he just beat me in this scenario. That's a problem. I need to figure out the answer to that. And then this, and then that, and then that. And then all of a sudden I'm done with a jiu-jitsu round with him or a sparring round with him, and now I have 150 situations that I just lost. Tiny little micro situations in our round that I just lost. And now I have to go home and think, or in the moment think, what is the answer? I mean, I'm sure it annoys the shit out of him, or annoys the shit out of a lot of people, but when I'm rolling with people and they get me in something, in the middle of the roll, we're going live, I'll just say, hey, dude, like, what the fuck was I supposed to do there? Because, like, in jiu-jitsu and in MMA, I don't know. In wrestling, I'm like, oh shit, I fucked it up. I know this is what I should have done. I didn't do it. I had a mental lapse. Next time, I'm fucking doing it. Or, all right, as soon as this practice is over, I'm gonna do 100 reps of that. Boom, established it, answered the problem, got the repetition. I'm gonna keep hammering it over the next month. Now I got it. Well, in MMA, I need somebody to tell me the answer, or I have to go home and look it up on the internet because I don't know. I don't know the answer to a lot of these problems. And that's why I love having these high level people because they're just constantly throwing me problems I don't have the answer to. And then I have to go and figure it out. Luckily, I have amazing coaches and amazing training partners that readily can give me those answers. But also, there's going to come a point where maybe I've expanded all of that and then I'll have to continue to just understand the concepts and come up with my own answers. It happens to me when I'm coaching wrestling all the time. I'm thinking, oh shit, I didn't know this answer, but I thought about where his body is and where his body is. Oh, this is how you beat him there. I want to get to that point in MMA where I'm able to go, oh, you just hit me with that jab. Oh, that's why. But by myself, without anybody saying anything to me, just being able to think about it in terms of, you know, body mechanics and positioning and timing and blah, 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 and just doing this giant equation in your brain. You're like, oh, there's the answer. Let me try it. Oh, it worked. Okay, yeah, I was right. And then you continue to establish that within yourselves, and now that's just part of who you are. You've just changed the competitor that you are. I I want to be my own fighter, but I also understand to get there, I need to take little bits and pieces of all of the greatest fighters that have existed over time and just kind of smush it into Parker Kropman.
100%, dude. That's chunking down your character. And you've been able to build this extensive network of people through your outreach, and it's kind of defined the standard that you're living through. Parker Kropman back in college is a lot different than Parker Kropman today. All right, Parker Kropman, the UFC champ, is going to be a lot different than Parker Kropman today. And through this standard that you've been able to attract in your life with the Pats, with the Andres, with the Pfeiffers, you've been able to build yourself up into a true competitor that's going to achieve greatness because you're holding yourself to that expectation. So what's the standard that you see these elite UFC fighters embracing and living through, and how is it transferring over into your pursuit as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely huge. The biggest two people I would say for me are Eddie Torres and Pat Sabatini. Not that anybody else hasn't had an huge influence. There's a million other people that I could mention, but I'm just saying them two because they're extraordinary in two different ways. Eddie is amazing as a fighter. He's an amazing fighter. But what I love about Eddie is just he is one of the best fucking humans I've ever met. Like that dude has been through a ton of shit, and instead of letting that make him a sour human being who just hates the world because all of the fucked up shit that's happened to him, he just instantly goes, "Oh, I'm not letting that happen to anybody else. I'm going to fucking dedicate myself to not only making my life better, but I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to make the people I care about achieve what they want to achieve." Like recently, he just had another knee surgery, coming off of a knee surgery. He had a knee surgery. He was out for, I think, about 6 months, comes back to training, hurts his other knee. Now he's out for another 6 months. Instead of being a sourpuss and just leaving the gym, that dude's been in the gym every fucking day still. He had a couple days where he was fresh out of surgery. He didn't come in because he was in a ridiculous amount of pain. But we're sparring Saturday night, right? He's fucking there, sitting there, trying to just answer all these problems for people because he can't train himself. So what is he going to do? He's going to dedicate himself to everybody else in that room that he cares about. And then on the other coin, you have Pat. And the reason Pat sticks out to me is because that dude trains 2 to 3 times every single day, especially when he's got a fight lined up, right? Here and there, okay, Pat likes to go fishing. So maybe takes one training session off every other week to go fishing, or goes fishing so he trains for one less hour in his training session. But it's like, you ask around and it's like, how the he was there training there, and then he was here training there, and that person saw him there, and you're talking to all these people, and you're like, is this dude training fucking 4 times every day for every single day of his life? And then it's like, he whoops your ass, and you're like, yeah, no shit, he whoops my ass. He trains 4 times more than I do. That's inspiring to me because, like, right now I also work a job, but my goal is to go full time fighting, and I want to dedicate every single second of my day to working towards that. These full time fighters, the best ones, not all of them, but the best ones that have these really good records, they are leaving no stone unturned. Their wheels are turning, except when they're sleeping. Every waking moment, no matter what they're doing, there is a piece of their mind thinking about answering the problems that they're dealing with in training, in fights. They saw other people deal with in fights, their training partners dealt with, and they're just turning. Even when I'm at work, if I'm at work, my brain is thinking about fighting and wrestling, always, no matter what. I kind of fucking hate it. At the same time, I love it because sometimes you just want to like shut the fuck off because you're like, oh my God, this is just the only thing I'm thinking about. But that's also what you need to do if you want to be one of the best. You got to be fucking crazy. You got to be extremely passionate. You got to be willing to be a fucking nerd. You know what I mean? I know some of the kids I coach, they're young. They think this dude's a fucking nerd. Like, why does he care so much about this shit? It's just wrestling, but like, it's everything to me. I love this shit. I live for it. It's what I'm here for. I like other things, but that is my main purpose. Other than obviously, partially the reason I'm doing it is I want to be able to provide for my family and create generational wealth and all of these things. But I want to do it through this sport and these sports because that's what I love.
Eddie and Pat seem like great freaking dudes. Met Eddie before, he's a beast, man. The one thing that you're kind of encapsulating, and I've been writing this down a bunch every single day, is dogs are dogs because they want to be dogs. And these dudes are just a bunch of dogs reeling in that passion, that atmosphere, and that mentality that's just encapsulating more dogs. And you're one of those guys in the fight. And that standard that they're living through is just bleeding through you. It's coursing through those veins because you just want to be an absolute killer out there. You just want to take over the world. And it's not just for yourself, but it's for your community. It's for Eddie. It's for Pat. It's for your family. It's for your boys. And you're giving back through your effort. You putting your life on the line and stepping into a cage with another stone cold killer is you willing to express your love to the world, which is badass in itself, man. You're stepping out there and you're just radiating, I'm fucking excellent. I love my life. And you see that. You walk outside the door, you're ready to go to training, and you're like, this is my fucking day. I own this. This is me. I'm living through this. I'm pissing excellence today. And that standard is just, it's undeniable. It's untamable and it's unbreakable, man. Like, you do not want to deviate. And those killers, like these UFC fighters, they're going out there to be freaking killers, and they're radiating and pissing that excellence every single day, harping on that attitude, living through a great conviction, and living by that standard that's going to attract them to that goal. The one thing I love about you that we talked about a bunch is this quote that you lived through: be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Do you mind explaining and talking through that quote? How are you living through this uncomfort, and how are you becoming uncomfortable with the uncomfortable?
Yeah, that was a quote also from my high school coach, John Leone. I have it on my door at work. I say it to myself all the fucking time. But being comfortable with being uncomfortable, it's like once you learn that skill, it's not the most important thing, but it does allow you to push through the uncomfort to get where you want to go. And an example might be this. This has nothing to do with fighting or what we're talking about, but like you see a chick at the bar and you want to talk to her, and we've all come victim to it. You don't want to go up to her because you're nervous about getting rejected. That's the uncomfort. And you don't have any clue what's going to happen because you're not willing to go through the uncomfort to find out. And then most of the time, you end up going up, talking to a chick, shooting the shit, and you ended up, you know, going home with her or getting her number or whatever. And you're like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. I just had to deal with a couple seconds of uncomfort to get there. Well, it's the same thing with anything else in your life. It's like failure is uncomfortable. Like that's the biggest thing with be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Be comfortable with failing. Be comfortable with people thinking you're a pussy. Be comfortable with people talking shit about you. Be comfortable with people going behind your like, dude. I as I get older, I understand there's always going to be people out there, no matter how close they are to you or how close you think they are to you, or people that are far away. People are gonna fucking judge you. People are going to talk shit about you. People are going to make fun of you. People are going to say, I can't believe this fucking guy thinks he could be a UFC champ. I can't believe this guy thinks he's about to go hook up with that girl. I can't believe this guy thinks he can do this. I can't believe he just said that. You know what I mean? A million things, but it's like you can't even find out if you're not willing to put yourself out there. So it's like be comfortable with just all the fucking negativity. Let it fucking hit you and just go, you know what? I'm going to figure it the fuck out regardless. Oh, you don't think I can do this? Watch me, motherfucker. Not, oh, he doesn't think I can do it. I'm not going to try because that way he can't judge me because I never even tried to do it. So there's no reason for him to say I can't. It's like, no, you say I can't. All right, I'm going to try. And then when you fail, don't look at that and go, oh, I failed. He was right. Now I can't do the uncomfortable things anymore because he said I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. That's probably how everything. No, go, yeah, you know what? You were right, motherfucker. But I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep eating the fucking shit. I'm going to keep eating the negativity because that's what I want. I have to go through all this bullshit to get there, but I'm just going to push through it. And that's why you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with failing. You have to be comfortable with people talking shit on you. You have to be comfortable with people not liking you. And one of the biggest things I struggle with is I want everybody to like me. I hate when people don't like me. I'm a people pleaser. Everybody in my family, my brothers and sisters, are people pleasers. Well, lately I've been trying to just say, fuck it. If you don't like me, you don't like me. I know what I want in my life. At this point, I know exactly what I want in my life. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. I don't care. So it's like I touched on a few different things, but that's really what it comes down to with be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, the funny thing is all these haters, there's a typical thread of emotion that's passed through them, and it's jealousy and envy. They're jealous of your circumstance because you're willing to take the action. They're envious of you pursuing your passion. You're pursuing those outcomes that are exceptional. And the funny thing is 90% of the time, they're going to be right, except that time when they're not. You may go out there and you may face some triumph. You may face some rejection, talking with honeys, going out and chasing your dreams. You're going to achieve that failure and you're going to face uncomfort and become comfortable with it. But once you're able to attain that comfort or that resilience to get what you want, they're going to be wrong. Those people that were rubbing in your face because they were jealous and envious of your circumstance, they're going to be wrong. And then you're going to be the one who's in a better circumstance than them. And you're going to be on a mountain, and they're still going to be down at the bottom of the hill, and they're going to be like, all of a sudden, what the fuck? Why don't you like me? Why don't you like all these ridiculous considerations? And you're still hiking up that mountain. You're still achieving that greatness that you want. And it's hilarious. It's like people are constantly going to pass judgment on you. People are going to constantly put you down because they're jealous of the pursuit that you're in. They're jealous and envious of who the person you're becoming. And we see it. We're both in situations where we're putting ourselves out there, trying to become the best we possibly can be. Piss that fucking excellence every single morning. And we're going to have haters in our corner no matter what. We walk into a room, even if it's a room full of a bunch of happy and charismatic people, just because of our personality, just because we're fucking dogs, right? We're going to walk in a room and attract greatness. And those responses are always going to be there. You go to a bar, you're a happy-go-lucky kid. You're goofy as all shit. You walk up to a honey. All of a sudden, you're spitting that game, risen it up like a killer, and people start attracting to that. What is this kid doing? What's this? What's this energy this kid's going off? And all of a sudden, you got this group of little cliquey assholes in the corner that are just going to constantly be passing judgment. And what do? You still go about your day. You still chase that excellence. You still talk to the pretty girl. You still network with that big baller badass that's right in the corner wearing a tuxedo. And you build that network and you reinforce that comfort with who it is you are, that Parker Kropman that embodies greatness, which is absolutely fucking stunning, man. That's an absolute beautiful thing to live through. Yeah.
Love you, brother.